I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is, sorry here, I need to aim it a funny way here. 1 second. Sorry, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 432nd episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I do need a haircut. I noticed earlier it pissed me off. I couldn't even get it going. I laid down and took a little bit of a nap earlier before the show got started, and got immediate bedhead and was not able to fix it before going live. So you're stuck with it. We're stuck with it. It is what it is. We will be getting a haircut here soon, which means sometime between now and September. So deal with it. All right. Hey, folks, we've got a lot to discuss today. There's so much going on. It's completely out of control. We've got national politics. We've got state politics. We've got local politics. We have idiots being idiots. And it is what it is. We're going to start off first and foremost, straight out of the gate, as we need to do to remind folks. This Saturday, the Holy Weekend, the day between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, only like these two idiots would do. They have put forward that they're going to have a legislative update on Saturday, April 19th, 2025, from 8:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. Saturday morning. It'll be located at the Randolph County Fairgrounds, Winchester, Indiana, 1885 US 27. Please come out, attend. The building is huge. It's huge. Please be there. You don't have to come and ask questions. If you're not a public speaker, if you do not like confrontation, if you do not like speaking in crowds, you don't have to come and speak. You can come and sit and stand in solidarity with the other folks there that are trying to ask questions. And listen, let's be clear. Senate Bill 1 was signed about 2:33 3 p.m. today. Okay? It was signed today. So it's not like anything's going to happen. However, ladies and gentlemen, Your First Amendment right grants you the right given to you by God to redress your elected officials. Yeah, it's great to be able to ask questions and attempt to get answers. It's fantastic to be able to speak with them and have concerns and feel as though they might be listening to you and they might be giving you these answers that will help you. But it's also okay to pull them forward and to absolutely read them the right act and to just let them have it. This meeting is set for 2 hours. I assume what they're going to do is they're going to try to monopolize the majority of the time. And I've got a plan. I actually have a plan in mind. And I'm not even going to keep it a secret. I'm going to tell you what this plan is. If we go there and they start speaking in an attempt to try and tell us what's happening. Listen, I understand it. It would be fine for them to speak and give us a little bit of information. But if I feel as if they are going to monopolize the time and not permit questions and comments to be addressed to them, I feel like at some point I'll just be like out loud, hey, wait a minute. We're not here to listen to the bullshit. I feel like you're here to listen to the crowd, so let's get to that. Now, they're not going to like that, and the people are going to be, hey, whatever. But you know what? It ain't no thing. I'm protected under the First Amendment right saying that, so I think I'll say it. If you want to show up and say it with me, show up. If you cannot attend, if you cannot be there in person, and I want you to be there in person. But if you can't be there, please be aware you will be able to listen to this live streaming. As we get that thing there. Okay, you will be able to live stream this here. You can hit... No, you're fine. I just want to put this thing up here just briefly. You can put this... There's the link. There's the QR code. You can find it all over our stuff. There it is. Big and wide. Blah, blah, blah. There it is. Yeah, AJ, you would think that is what it is for, but I'll tell you what they do. Generally, they like to monopolize the time and try and do some kind of nonsensical behavior where they say, we're going to give you an hour to talk with us and to go back and forth, and we're going to talk for 50 minutes of it. So, listen, and ahead of time, to inform, I'm on very good terms with the Sheriff's Department, with the Winchester City Police Department. I know these guys very well. I am good friends with them. Putting up a quick disclaimer, I am not coming there with any ill intent. I will not be there with any bad behavior. I am coming there as a citizen of America, as a Hoosier, as a citizen born in Muncie, Delaware County, Indiana, a former citizen of Winchester. I am coming there to redress my elected officials. Although J.D. Prescott, I'm just a hair outside of his district. Scott Alexander is my state senator. I am coming there as a member of the media. It's been proven across the board. You don't have to like it. Sometimes I don't like it, but it is what it is. And there is no ill intent. I'm not going to get crazy. Not going to get crazy. No, it does not. Nope, not at all. That decorum bill is only for no. So we're good there. No, it's for like the state house or city, county council, county commissioners, things like that. So, I always want to tell everybody, like, look, we might show up and we might be a little angry. It's okay to be angry. I highly recommend that any and all police officials that will be in attendance at this thing to brush up on the Bill of Rights, to brush up on the Constitution, to maybe look through some council meetings from other areas or legislative updates from other areas. Maybe look at what goes on in England, and we beat those guys years ago. And so, just kind of refresh yourself. It's okay for people to be passionate. It's okay for people to be, ready to rock and roll, frustrated. You say people are not angry. No, people are angry, and it's okay for people to be angry. Here's the thing. This is the thing people don't understand. We need to get out of this mindset of it's not okay to be angry. It is okay to be angry. I don't know where y'all worked, but when I have worked for individuals and my bosses have told me to do something, or my bosses have asked me a question, and I have made a promise to my bosses, and then I don't complete that promise, I don't live up to that expectation, I don't do what my bosses tell me, they have been, I'm okay, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with elected officials losing their shit. I'm not going to do any more in 1984, George Orwell, New World Order, Brave New World, double speak. We're not doing any of that. It's the people are angry at these people. And if those people are so small-minded that they don't understand that and they can't comprehend, then please leave your keys on the way out the door. We'll find someone else that can fulfill the role and not be so smooth-brained. So I've told them, I sent a message to them. So I'm not in charge of them by any means, but I sent them a message. So hopefully they'll be there. It's a little bit out of their bailiwick, but maybe they'll show up. Hopefully they show up. There is also a legislative update tomorrow evening at the Anderson City Library for Kyle Pierce. I am telling you right now, I have absolutely nothing planned for tomorrow evening, and I will absolutely, and God willing, if nothing else gets in the way, I will be there at that meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to hear and to be. So tomorrow night's meeting, tomorrow night's show might be a little late, just FYI, but I will be there tomorrow. So, no, Jack is actually a longtime viewer, watcher. He's kind of an anarchist. He sometimes takes his meds, sometimes doesn't take his meds. He's harmless. He's actually a friend. It's just like one of those people. No, hi, I'm Jack. Well, JD, JD's name is John, and Jack is short for John. So it could be, I've never seen Jack and JD in the same place together. So, you know. All right. So tune in tomorrow. We will be talking about what's going on with the Kyle Pierce thing tomorrow. Tomorrow will be like a warm-up. Kyle Pierce is nothing compared to Kyle Pierce. On the scale of intelligence, I would actually put Kyle Pierce a couple clicks ahead of JD and Scott Alexander. Honestly, they're all idiots. Just letting you know. So we've got so much to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Last night we went off air last night. Last night was a short show. We had on the school board members from Union. They did very well. I'm getting a lot of feedback from folks who liked listening to them, and so they did a great job. It's going well. I did get off live last night, went to bed, and was watching the Senate session from bed. And I got to tell you, Beckwith, I text you last night live and said, quit chomping your damn gum, dude. When you're up there and people are watching, quit doing that. You think he's trying out for the role of John Lennon in the early days, or at the Market Square, Madison Square Garden concert, when he's just chomping on that gum, and singing whatever gets you through the night, man. Quit chomping on that gum. That's so unprofessional. So damn unprofessional. It's ridiculous. So quit doing that. But they did finally get to the concurrence. That was something they talked about for quite some time. They did vote. And the vote was 27 to 22. 27 to 22. Which means there were 12 Republicans that voted no. Interesting. It was a whole lot closer than I thought it was going to be. They did a little bit better than what the House did, so I was kind of shocked. However, that being said, Backroom Braun, that worm, he did sign the Senate Bill 1 today at about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Last night at 12:19, they sent out another press release last night at I've got those results. Thank you though. I don't have them. I mean, I've got them, but I don't have them pulled up. Thank you very much. So they sent out a press release last night at 12:19. And I'm going to put this up here for you. We've got a lot to talk about, folks. The press release reads as follows. This is for immediate release Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, 12:19 a.m. Statement. Governor Mike Braun and the Indiana General Assembly deliver historic property tax relief. Ridiculous. Governor Mike Braun released the following statement on Senate Bill 1. This is historic property tax relief. Senate Bill 1 cuts property taxes for most Hoosiers, homeowners, farmers, and businesses, limits future tax hikes, and makes the tax system fairer, more transparent, and easier to understand. Real property tax relief was a core promise of my freedom and opportunity agenda. And with the collaborative leadership of our legislators, we are delivering real savings and protections for taxpayers. I look forward to signing the bill as soon as I receive it. So there was that. That was that. There it was. That's what we have to deal with. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But that is not the main portion of tonight's episode. Hello there, Stephanie. And hello to everyone else. Hey, if you're just now coming in, if you've been here for a minute, do us a favor and smash that like button. That would be fantastic of you. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the subscription. When you do that, you can click the bell. That lets you know when we go live. Of course, everyone knows we're live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Thursday. Sometimes we're live Friday and Saturday too, depending on what goes on. But it's definitely Sunday through Thursday. Communicate with us over here. Or communicate with us down below if you're here in the future via replay. That would be fantastic if you could help us with that. Also, if you would, if you're interested, please consider following us on social media. And hold on here. Follow us on social media. There's the YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, studio number, all that. Follow us there. That would be fantastic. Hey, so the big news of the day. There's so much going on, and it's hard to kind of pick and choose. That's the thing. You know, when there's so much going on nationally, there's so much going on at the state level, there's so much going on at the local level. You know, you kind of have to start picking and choosing. We would have to start being on like 6 hours a day, or you kind of got to pick and choose the things that you're going to cover. However, when breaking news comes forward, we have to do the breaking news. And I do want to let everybody know that we, Melanie, that's yes. We do have a Sproles watch situation going on. In the last 24 hours, conditions have been favorable to Sproles conditions, and it's not been good or safe. Specifically, if you're a person of color, watch out. I'm really proud of myself with this thumbnail, with today's thumbnail. And I'm going to put this up, and not the Karen Howard girls. Karen Howard girls, you're out of the mix because you already know. But I want you guys to tell me, because my thing is like, people should get this straight away, but I guess I don't know if people will get this or not. Do you all know what this thumbnail is a parody of? It should be easy, but we're through the looking glass, so I don't know. Here's today's thumbnail. Kate, do you get it? I thought Kate might. This seems unfair. I was really happy about this. I was just going to put his head on the original person and just leave the body, but I couldn't do that. They're wearing the exact same colors, which is really crazy. So, yeah. Oops, he did it again. I got to tell you, I cannot believe he's actually, honestly, put himself in this situation yet again. Yep. All right, Brenda Grider's got it. I knew there would be some people there. Tweety Bird, okay, good. All right, that's good. I'm happy. Did Sproles grease his arms? Okay. I knew that Catherine probably wouldn't get it. I knew that Catherine probably would not get it. I had that sneaking suspicion. That's fine. So before we talk about that, well, I don't know if you guys all are aware of what happened. So I guess we'll do it. We'll do it this way. I'll give you the news. Then I actually have, and it's not anything wrong about you, Catherine. You normally don't get cultural references. You were too busy doing school that I don't think that you get many cultural references. You're a highly intelligent person. You just don't do the cultural references as much. So, no, not even humor. It's not the fact that you're a very humorous person. It's just the cultural references that you don't specifically pick up on. I think you're a very funny person. It's just it's that. So, okay. Well, here's the deal. As we are all aware, we have a playlist here of over, oh man, I can't even begin to tell you how many videos. We have a playlist here of over 85 different John Sproles videos. And it's a playlist of, okay, this will be the 87th. This will be the 87th video. So for those that do not know, John Sproles is currently the elected Republican sheriff of Henry County, Indiana. John Sproles will be up for re-election next year. And John Sproles John Sproles ran for office. Hey, Karen Howard girls, when did John Sproles first run? When did he first run? I want to say he first ran in 22, 24, 21. Okay, wait a minute. And he took office in 22. So 22, 23, 24, 25. No, 22. And he took office in January of 23. He took office January 23, 24, 25, and 26. So he will run for office next year, and he will take office in January, or whoever will win will take office in January 27. So he took over in January 2023, and almost instantly he started doing a list of just wild, crazy shit. He shot a gentleman in custody at point blank range with shotgun beanbags, breaking the skin and causing that gentleman to have surgery to repair it. He's broke the law, pulling over lots and lots of different vehicles while he's been in an unmarked car and out of uniform. And in the state of Indiana, you have to be in one of the couple ways I'm getting ready to describe. To make a traffic stop in the state of Indiana, you have to be in a fully marked police car and full uniform, or you can be in an unmarked car and full uniform, or you can be in a fully marked police car with a badge of authority and plain clothes. But here's what you cannot do. You cannot pull over people in an unmarked car with no uniform on. He has done a whole bunch of racial things. Wildly racist, this man is. And that's, I don't normally just claim that about a lot of people. As a Republican, former Republican, as a conservative, constitutional conservative, I know that is a title that gets thrown around, that can get thrown around, maybe not fairly sometimes, but in John Sproles' case, there is no question. It's come out of his mouth, man. I don't even understand some of the dumb things that he has said. It just is wild. If you want to go down a full rabbit hole of the entire Sproles fiasco, go to our playlist and go down this. Okay, so even if you're going, yes. So, here's the deal. Last night, a deadly accident occurred at East Washington Street and Midhofer in Indianapolis. So what? What does that have to do with anything? Well, bizarrely, it started from a traffic pursuit that started in Henry County. We've heard a story like this before. It wasn't very long ago that the Delaware County prosecutor declined to file charges on a rookie Henry County Sheriff's deputy for getting in a pursuit in Henry County, pursuing the vehicle here. The vehicle crashed, resulting in the death of a passenger in the vehicle. It was a horrible situation. The prosecutor essentially said that, in his opinion, that if the prosecutor's office could possibly file charges against actors, it would have to be in Henry County, and it would have to be up to the Henry County prosecutor. And the Henry County prosecutor is weak, absolutely weak, just completely weak. All right, I got to say that. It sucks. It's bad. He's a nice guy, but he is a weak ass prosecutor. Okay, just got to be clear. Yeah, right, Eric. So the report from Fox News says Indiana State Police are investigating a crash that killed a man after a pursuit that started in Henry County Monday evening. The crash happened at 9:42 p.m. at the intersection of East Washington Street and North Midhofer Road. According to ISP, around 9:15 p.m., the Henry County Sheriff's Office attempted to pull over a maroon Dodge Durango Scat Pack on State Road 3 near Indiana Avenue in Newcastle. In an update from the Henry County Sheriff's Office Tuesday, they said the vehicle was driving erratically, which led to the attempted traffic stop. Now, I'm going to read you what goes on here. I'm going to read you the press release from the Sheriff's Department. Then I'm going to tell you what I think. Then we're going to listen to the traffic. I have the actual traffic here. If you want to hear the actual traffic of what went down, you will be able to hear it here. I think this is probably an exclusive. I don't know that I've heard it anywhere else. So we have it here. The Durango sped away, leading to a chase that entered Interstate 70 westbound through Hancock County and into Marion County. Henry County officials said that the chase ended for them as it entered Hancock County. This decision was made in accordance with department policy and the interest of public safety, officials with Henry County said. We believe it started as a traffic violation, said Sergeant John Perrin with State Police. This is the aftermath of a very lengthy pursuit involving multiple police agencies that ended with a very big crash. Okay. The vehicle exited I-70, headed north on Post Road, eventually came back south towards the intersection of Washington Street and Mithofer Road, ISP said. The Durango went through the intersection at an extreme speed and struck a Mustang and a BMW. The Durango flipped multiple times before landing upside down. Police said there were 4 people in the SUV, including a man who died after being ejected from the vehicle. The other 3 occupants were taken to the hospital. Investigators are working to determine who was driving the vehicle. There were people entrapped in the vehicle that had to be extracted by the fire department, the state trooper said. The Marion County Coroner's Office identified the man who died as 33-year-old Dewan L. Hampton. State police said the driver of the Mustang was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the BMW suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene. The state trooper said ISP personnel lost sight of the Durango and were getting ready to call off the pursuit when the crash happened. Right now, the indication is that we did not have a trooper with visibility of the vehicle at the time of the crash, and we were in the process of terminating the pursuit prior to the crash, the trooper said. He said several weapons were found strewn around in the street at the accident. There were multiple weapons spread throughout this crash scene that fell out of the vehicle. They include both handguns and rifles, the trooper said. 2 of the people in the Durango remained hospitalized. No arrests have been made, and the circumstances surrounding the crash remain under investigation. Indiana State Police is the lead investigative agency. Henry County officials said 1 deputy remained in the general vicinity during the chase after it left Henry County. An update from the county read that the deputy monitored radio traffic as it moved in the Indianapolis area. Okay, that's what the news says in the most updated release for the news media. Now, I will tell you, I have read the official statement given by the Henry County Sheriff's Department, and it seems as if the statement was put forth by the chief deputy, Josh Smith. Now, I will tell you, it's odd because there are some grammar errors and mistakes in the press release, which tend to be a John Sproles type of thing. So I don't know if this is a situation where we have like a ghostwriter here, and this is John Sproles, and Smith is putting it out just because Sproles was involved. I don't know. That's just my assumption. Okay, so the press release reads as follows. On April 14th, 2025, at approximately 9:05 p.m., the Henry County Sheriff, John Sproles, observed a vehicle driving erratically. Now, keep that in mind. Erratically. Keep that in mind. On State Road 3 near Indiana Avenue in Newcastle. When an attempt was made to stop the vehicle, it fled and a pursuit was initiated. Keep those words in your mind. The pursuit continued westbound on Interstate 70 and was terminated by the Henry County Sheriff's Office under the direction of the sheriff. And it's confusing there because some people think that this means by the Hancock County Sheriff. It's not. It's by the Henry County Sheriff, John Sproles, in Hancock County. The decision was made in accordance with the departmental policy and the interest of public safety. Following the termination, 1 Henry County deputy remained in the general vicinity, traveling westbound toward the area where the tire deflation device had been deployed by another agency. The deputy monitored radio traffic as the pursuit transitioned into the Indianapolis area. Aware that other agencies were continuing the pursuit, the deputy followed at a distance in a support role out of concern for officer safety and to maintain situational awareness. At one point, the deputy briefly observed a single Indiana State Police trooper actively pursuing the suspect vehicle and fell in behind him. However, he soon lost sight of both the trooper and the suspect vehicle. A short time later, while traveling southbound on Mithofer Road near Washington Street, the deputy came upon the scene of a crash involving the suspect vehicle. The Indiana State Police are handling the crash investigation. Any further information will be released by their agency. Our thoughts and our prayers are go out to all those affected. The Henry County Sheriff's Office remains committed to responsible policing, transparency, and the safety of the public we serve. Chief Deputy Josh Smith. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that statement seems like a cover your ass statement if ever I heard one. I see so many police report writing tricks in this statement. It's very, very suspect to me. So now we're getting ready to listen to the traffic, the radio traffic before the pursuit started, during, and then after. And what I want to tell you is what I tell you before any of the times we ever look into any of this. And again, for those that don't understand, I don't normally Monday morning quarterback the police. This is not a law enforcement police channel. I'm not out here, trapping and busting and carrying on with the police. This is a political situation because it involves the duly elected sheriff who has been a total nut job over the last couple of years he's been in office. This is very much a political situation. Henry County cannot afford this man to be sheriff. Just simply cannot afford this man to be sheriff. And the culture that he is bringing up underneath him is just very scary. And so this is very much a public interest political piece because of everything that Sheriff Sproles has done up to and including this pursuit. I want to tell you that it just depends on who runs against him. I've heard a couple names, and it just depends. I would normally have said yes. I would hope that the public will be just completely outraged by a lot of what he's done. It just really depends, but I've heard a couple names that could really put a hurting to him. So it really just depends. I will tell you this. I don't like to Monday morning quarterback the police on situations like this because there's some gray area. And in all of this, you got to look at what's going on. However, right is right, wrong is wrong, and I'm going to cover what I believe is right, what I believe is wrong. I have been involved in pursuits as a former law enforcement official, as a former police officer, as someone who's worked patrol, investigations, narcotics, who's worked for in the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office. I've been involved in all angles of this, things like this before. And so it's not just like I'm out here blindly talking about this with no understanding of what's going on. I have absolute knowledge of what is happening here, and I have been involved in this. So I just want to be very clear with that. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this. You're not going to hear anything crazy. I don't believe there's any kind of major trigger warning to let anyone know. So, you don't have to be worried about anything like that. There's nothing like that. So that's not going to be of concern here. So just be aware there. Give me a second here and let me get started on this. 1725. Okay, we'll start right here. Okay. All righty here. So this traffic that we're going to hear is going to be the Henry County Sheriff's Department traffic. And we're going to listen to this. We're starting this at we're going to be starting this at about right at about 9:05 p.m. last night, Monday, April 14th, 2025. And here we go. The other thing I need to tell you is there are going to be gaps in. I'm going to let it play here and let you hear the gaps, but then in a minute, I'm going to jump through the gaps. I am not going to edit anything out of this. You're going to hear the entirety of what you hear. I'm just letting you know that when there's long periods of silence, we are going to skip that, just FYI.
Dispatch 3392 tonight.
Okay. So there was some law enforcement officer or someone in Henry County going back in service, 10-8's going back in service.
392. Dispatch 28 and 27.
Okay. You're going to hear a couple different things, and I'm going to help you kind of go through it because it's muffled a lot of times, and so it's going to be hard to hear, and I'm going to help you hear what you're hearing. So what you just heard right there is taking place at about 9:07 p.m., and it is Henry County Unit 3328, and he's going signal 27, which is making a traffic stop. So listen to that again. He says Henry County 28, signal 27. So he says part of his unit number, and he's going signal 27, which is a traffic stop. Listen again.
Dispatch 28, signal 27.
Dispatch 28, signal 27.
3328.
They then call his number 3328. Now he gives his information.
100 South and Whittier. Tom King 920. David John George.
So then he told where he was at and what kind of vehicle. He gave the license plate of where he would be out on. Now they said 10-4. Now we're going to jump it ahead here. There's silence. He's outside of the car. And then
10-4, ready to condition or thank you.
All right, that was just
10-4 clearance for service.
There's nonsense on the radio. There's other things. So, okay, here's the next traffic.
36.
Nothing.
21-23.
Nothing. Okay. Next up, you're going to hear in just a few moments, you're going to hear the sheriff ask if there are any cars south of 3 and near Riley. Here we go. Right here.
Do we have any cars south at about 3 and Riley? Southbound on 3.
Do we have any cars at about 3 and Riley, southbound on 3? That was made from the Henry County Sheriff. Okay, listen again.
Do we have any cars south at about 3 and Riley? Southbound on 3.
So he's asking if there are any cars in that area, and I'll tell you why here in a moment.
28's at 3 in Midwest side and catch traffic.
So now that other unit that was on that traffic stop, he radios into the sheriff and says where he's at. He says he's close in the area, but he wasn't clear on the traffic. So now listen.
Start southbound here. I'm going to go to signal 27, about 300 south on the vehicle.
So the sheriff then tells that unit, 3328, start south here, head my way. I'm going to go signal 27 on this vehicle. Now, you have to understand the reason why this is important is the sheriff at this time, number one, ladies and gentlemen, is off duty. He's not working the road. He's not filling in for somebody. He's not out looking for a bank robber. He is off duty. He's not on duty. He was going to get food. He was coming back from getting food. I don't know what he was doing. Who the hell knows what he was doing? But he was driving in an unmarked car. He was off duty, which means he was not in uniform. So, at this time, we have the sheriff stating that he is going to go signal 27 on a vehicle in an unmarked car and without uniform on, which he has done before. We have proof of him doing before. And it's illegal. Now, there is a possible run around that if the car is OWI or he's in fear that they're OWI and he's in fear for their life and other people's lives. You know, if acting in that at that moment, would be a life-saving measure, there is an in-run, and that's what they are now claiming all of these hours later. But ladies and gentlemen, I question the narrative that they think it's a drunk driver. Now, to answer Tweety Bird's, how's he hearing this? I think you're confused. He's in his vehicle. He's in his sheriff's vehicle that's unmarked. So his radio traffic is on. He's in the car and it's on. He's not hearing anything. He's the one that's radioing it. So he's off duty driving down the road. Stay with me here. He's driving in the car off duty and he sees something. He picks up the radio and he says, do we have any cars? And the reason he's asking this is he's looking for a deputy who can actually make a traffic stop, who is in a marked car and full uniform. He's asking for an on-duty deputy. And after 3328 says, yeah, I'm in the area, I can start that way, he says, okay, go ahead and start this way because I'm going to go signal 27. He should not have done that. He should have just kept following. And he should have let the on-duty deputy come up and take the role. But Sproles cannot do that. Because why? He doesn't have the full training and ability and understanding because he's only been a cop for, at this point, 4.5 years. He's the leader of the department. He's the sheriff elected by the people, but he's not a veteran. He doesn't have years of training. He's still been on less than 5 years at this point. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now, listen, why do I say that I question the whole erratic driving and the whole OWI? The reason I do is because of something out of the sheriff's mouth, not when he's in cover your ass mode, but when he's in the thick of the pursuit, and you're going to hear it right here, loud and clear right here. And it's sheriff's own words that damn him. So, and I'll prepare you for that. Here we go. That was the unit saying, okay, he's heard what the sheriff said. Now listen to what the sheriff says now.
Dispatch wants to be a burgundy Durango, like a car.
The sheriff says, dispatch 1, because the sheriff's number is 331. So you'll get guys who will say, 33-1 or 18-1 or 18-25, 18-35, 33-28, or sometimes they'll just leave the 33 off and they'll just use the back end. So he says dispatch 1, and then he gives a description of what the car is he's following. And listen.
Dispatch 1 to be a burgundy Durango, like a RFT with white stripes on it. Looks like a temporary tag. TK931OM bar Ocean Mary Robert.
So he gave the plate number, gave the description of the car, and he's giving that before he's actually pulling the car over. So the lights and sirens or nothing's on in his unmarked car. Okay? We go forward here.
Dispatch 238 10-8.
238.
That's nothing. All right. Here's where it gets here is where he goes. Here's where he goes, flips the lights on because it gets serious here. Listen.
Southbound.
So he cut off his word. He says pursuit southbound. Listen, I'll let you hear it again.
Southbound 300 south.
So he's now in pursuit southbound from 3 and whatever he says, whatever the southbound road is. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so here we go.
28 catching up. I'm passing Pleasant View.
So now the other unit radios in and tells dispatch 3328. He just says 28. I'm catching up. I'm just passing Pleasant View or whatever. He's letting them know he's trying to catch up to where the sheriff is. Now keep in mind, these are all cars, so they're all rolling while this is going on. So if 3328 was behind the sheriff and they were all moving, he's still going to be behind him. It's going to take him a minute to catch up. Now, the vehicle he was pursuing is gunning it. Keep in mind, it's a Durango. I think he said it was an RT. I think it's a Scat Pack. So it's going to take off. It's going to be flying fast. Okay. All right. So here we go.
Clear southbound 300 south. Go ahead and hold the channel for him.
The radio said, go ahead, or I think the other unit said, go ahead and hold the channel for him. So they're going to go signal 100 and push all other traffic to another channel, which means no one should be talking on this traffic channel except for the sheriff and those involved in the pursuit. And explain to me what you mean there, Brenda Grider. What's the questions? What are they saying?
Signal 100 on primary other traffic zone tactic.
Dispatch 96 is arriving at Henry Community Health.
That's nothing. That's
A little traffic on 3.
there. Someone just yelled at that person again. Hold traffic.
Clear little traffic. Approach 97.
Gonna go westbound on 70.
Sheriff just said we're westbound on 70.
Possibly going westbound on 70.
Dispatch repeated
They
that.
are. They're on the ramp now.
Sheriff said we're on the ramp.
Clear entering westbound.
But Hancock County though.
Sheriff says let Hancock County know.
About the 122 westbound.
Lets them know they're going westbound on I-70.
One, I'm almost caught up to you.
3328 lets the sheriff know I'm catching up to you. They didn't call off at the Hancock County line. And listen, you wouldn't necessarily stop at the county line. And if the guy, I want to be very clear, if that guy that the Henry County deputy was chasing into Muncie, if that guy had not ran through Muncie, if he had got off on the bypass, I would have no problem with that Henry County deputy still chasing. It's once the guy got into Muncie and it got insane and they were in cities and they were running red lights and hitting schools and all that stuff that I was like, okay, it's out of bounds. So the fact that they're on I-70, honestly, I don't have a problem with them chasing him till the wheels fall off as long as everything's safe. But let's continue on here.
10-4. Anybody get any sticks up?
They're talking about trying to get sticks.
806, can you advise?
806, can you advise? I guess about stop sticks or something.
They're about the 119 now. Still have them in sight.
Sheriff is talking about them being on, though, I guess the 119 mile marker. They still have them in sight.
They're at the 118 and a half.
118 and a half. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
Get the dark burgundy Dodge Durango RST. It's got white stripes in the middle and the back. I'm not sure about the front.
Hey, I can have another side.
I didn't hear that. $15.
Dispatch 21 will be en route from 95L.
Okay, 1, I'm caught up to you. Good. 28 is going to be car 1. Still trying to catch up. We'll be...
Okay. Now, at this point, Sheriff has been the lead car pursuing this. 3328 has the faster car. From talking to my sources, 3328 has the faster car. So they're now going to flip-flop. Okay? They're going to flip-flop. And 3328 is going to get in front and be car 1. And the sheriff's now going to be car 2. But they're still going. Tweety Bird, I'll put it to you this way. If the Durango is pulling away from them and they're on 70, they're going over 100 miles an hour. I don't know how fast. That's the other thing I think is interesting. Normally, and this needs to be really looked at, and they need to be, this is not using protocol, in my opinion. In a pursuit, once you get 2 or 3 or more cars there, you've got the lead car is the car that's driving, and they're not supposed to be doing anything other than focusing on driving. Car 2 or car 3 is supposed to be the radio car, and they're supposed to be radioing in and saying, we are still westbound on 70, speeds are 100 miles an hour, light traffic, clear weather. And they're supposed to be giving these updates every so often of what's going on and what's happening. And well, the Mustang belongs to a captain. So I don't know. I don't think he was on duty. And I really hope I'm going to try and get the body cams and all of this stuff. So, we'll see what goes on. But let's continue on here.
28 is going to be car 1. Still trying to catch up. We'll be westbound from the 115 exit.
So they're westbound from the 115 exit. Let me pull up a map here and double check where we're at, okay? Because that's the other thing that we need to be doing is checking where everything is here. Okay, we are Henry County. We We're on 70. We're already on 70. So the 3 and 70 interchange is the 123. Let's see where what interchange is this? 115. The 115 is 109. So they're still in Henry County there. Okay. Okay, what is this? All right, let's continue on.
Or westbound from the 115, 28 now car 1.
I think I have him up here in the left lane.
Okay, now I need to switch over to 1 second here. Switch over to the next feed. Okay, here we go.
Hang on, can I another side?
I didn't hear that.
Well, we'll listen to Hancock. I'll jump on Hancock County here in a minute, too.
15.
Dispatch 21 will be en route to 90 from 95L.
Okay, 1, I'm caught up to you. 28's going to be car.
Or westbound.
I think I have him up here in the left lane.
Okay, there's where we left off.
Westbound from county line.
All right, so they're at the county line right there, westbound from the county line. All right, now that's what's going to be really important. Do we know where the county line is? What the county line is? Let's see here. We're getting down to it. Okay, so
we've got Eric on here. He says he thinks
Yeah.
the county line's at around 114. And that exit is listed as the Hancock County West area.
okay, yeah. So we are at right now. We are at the. Thank you, Kate. And if anybody says anything of any importance, so we are. Right here. Yeah. Okay. So we'll listen here from where we go from here.
Still westbound from County Line. Officer.
Yeah, I have him. Let's look in the left lane. Just 43, we have construction ahead.
So just 43, we have construction ahead. That means just information. There's construction ahead.
He's in the right lane.
He's in the right lane.
Clear right lane, construction ahead.
Medium, move back in the left lane.
We're now back in the left lane.
Left lane, traffic, medium.
We plan on terminating this.
So now the lead car asks the sheriff, "Do you plan on terminating this?"
Have 6. That's up to 1. Go ahead and set up some sticks.
The sheriff said, "Go ahead and set up some sticks." So I didn't hear the sheriff say, "Yeah, let's terminate," and they are now into Hancock County. Keep that in mind. They're now into Hancock County, and they're talking about setting up sticks. I'm not hearing him say, "Yeah, pull back. Let's rock and roll on back home. We're getting far out of town." All right, keep that going.
All right, I'll be at the 96 sticks. We're coming up to the rest stop now.
They're coming up to the rest stop now.
Westbound 110, he's passing semis on the shoulder.
Yes, sir. Should I visual set up stop sticks at the 96 mile mark?
ISP is going to set up stop sticks at the 96 mile marker. All right. So we just heard them say troopers are setting up sticks at the 96 mile marker.
He's passing the rest stop now.
Eastbound from the rest stop.
He said he's pulling into the rest stop. Hey, Kermit, he just pulled in.
Pull into the rest stop.
Pass a fire with what this is. 2209 at 2209.
On 70 westbound.
70 westbound.
He just went through the passing crew. No, 1050. We're westbound from the 107, I believe.
Westbound from the 107.
107.
I think
Yeah,
so.
Greenfield's going to be setting out 6 to the 104. Yeah, Greenfield's going to be setting out 6 to the 104. I don't know if they're going to tell it to do that construction. 96.
Greenfield's going to be setting up sticks at the 104.
Construction zone, speed limit sign.
Construction zone.
I don't know, we'll say you're going to have to advise you what lane they're in. I'm going to say it's in the left lane.
Left lane.
140. Moved over to the right lane.
Moved over to right lane.
All right, dispatch 20. I'm caught back up.
Okay, now they're caught back up with the guy.
Can. I've got the plate information. I read it earlier.
They got the plate information.
104.
Westbound 104, speeds excess 100.
Westbound 104, speeds in excess of 100.
104, speeds excess 100.
In the right lane.
He's in the right lane.
So yeah, make sure and leaving some room so you don't catch the sticks as well.
10-4. We're running into medium traffic. It's clogged up right now.
Medium traffic gets clogged up.
Vehicle description. Maroon Dodge Go, white stripes. Go north on 600 west. 10-4.
White stripes are white stripes up the middle and down the back.
In all fairness, they have it's a plate with a temp tag, so it's not a plate like it's not like a real plate. It's not going to come back. It would come back to who bought the vehicle, and they could go back and get that information. It's just not the same thing as like the actual license plate on your car or my car. So it's not the same thing. It's a little bit different.
Speed approximately 130.
Speeds 130.
113 miles per hour. Information ISP wants to know the reason for the pursuit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very, very big. So at this time, dispatch, Henry County, and ISP are playing telephone. Henry County Sheriff and his deputy are talking to their dispatch. Dispatch talking to them. Dispatch is on the phone with ISP's dispatch, who is talking to their people, but they cannot hear each other. State police gets on the horn and says, dispatch, can you advise what the reason for the initial stop was? Their dispatch asks Henry County dispatch, who then radios it back to the guys at the ground. Listen to this question.
Information ISP wants to know the reason for the pursuit.
Information ISP wants to know the reason for the pursuit.
Information ISP wants to know the reason for the pursuit.
All right, here we go. Listen to what Mr. Sheriff says here.
1037.
1037. 1037. 1037. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are all kinds of police codes, and what you hear on TV is not the same thing that's in real life, and what we use here in Indiana is not the same thing they use in Colorado, and it's not the same thing they use in New York. A lot of people use the same codes, and when I was on the department, we didn't use plain speak. We used 10 codes on everything. Everything we did was 10 codes. That being said, 1037 isn't something that I ever used. And I was trying to think when I first heard this, 1037. Why? What's 1037? I know it's not a drunk. I know it's not like an armed robbery. I know it's not a murder. So, I know I'm trying to figure. So I get out the little handy dandy Google and I look. 1037 is a suspicious vehicle. That's not a speeding car. That's not a Signal 23. It's not a 1055, an OWI. He didn't say possible 1055. He didn't say he was reckless driving or egregious driving. Sproles said the reason for all of this madness was it was a suspicious vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want me to tell you what color the occupants were? Woo! They were black. Black occupants in a nice looking Durango driving through Sproles town at dark time. That ain't no good. Wrong color, wrong county, wrong time, wrong sheriff. Suspicious? What in the hell? He didn't even have, I mean, I guess, thank God, he didn't even have the wherewithal to say they crossed center line. Literally, that's how racist this man is. Suspicious vehicle. I can't believe everyone else should be like, we're done at that point. But let's continue.
We're caught up behind a group of semis.
Caught up behind a group of semis.
Passing on the left shoulder.
I'll let you call it. I can't see it. I'll let you call it. I can't see it.
Okay, he's going to let him call it. And folks, I got to take a pee break. Give me 1 second. Hey, maybe you can come up and talk to him for a
second. Just when I thought this guy might have decided to, like, lay low, behave, act like a normal human being. And instead, DWB. I think you're going to have to explain that one to me, Mr. Mayor. I hope this kid's toxicology comes back negative. No kidding. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what exactly makes the vehicle suspicious. It's a nice vehicle. It's got temp tags. It's, tinted glass. What? I don't understand this man. I don't know how you start a chase going 130. Oh, driving while black. Thank you, Mary. I apologize. Didn't even occur to me. Yeah.
Did you actually say you're going to have to explain to me what DWB is?
Yeah.
Driving while black?
I'm sorry.
You don't know what driving while black is?
Apparently, I do now. Why do you
Why
think I'm part of this show? I learn something new all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a terminology I'm going to be breaking out very often. No, the car was not black.
No,
the car was red.
The car was not black. Yeah, that's correct. I can't believe
Do
this.
you feel better now?
Yes. I can.
Okay,
I
good.
can. Ready to rock and roll. So now the county. Todd, yeah. All right, here we go. Forward ho.
But now that construction ended, light.
Now that construction ended, traffic is light.
Westbound from the 99.
They're westbound from the 99. You hear Sproles calling it? Has anybody heard Sproles call it yet?
Westbound from 99.
That's right, 98 over 6, speed's 130.
Speed's 130.
98. He's 130.
Vehicle's in the far left lane. He's got quite a distance on me. We're going to be westbound from the 97 now. I'm maxed out.
He's got quite a bit of distance on me. Westbound from the 97. I'm maxed out, which means that officer, that deputy, 3328, is got the pedal to the metal, man.
He's got 6 out of the 96. If they get hit on the primary and be car 1. 28. Lanes Going under the overpass now from the 96.
Going under the overpass from the 96.
6 of the 96 mile marker.
10-4.
28. If there's a no hit on stick, let's go ahead and terminate. Henry County's going to terminate.
All right, right there. Okay. There he said, if there's no hit on the sticks, Henry County is going to terminate. The sheriff did say that. Did say it. They're at, let's see here, 1140. So that is
96 is Mount Comfort. We got
okay.
our wonderful commenters here.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. All right, so that at 9:30, he says they're going to, if they didn't get a hit, they're going to stop it.
28. If there's a no hit on stick, let's go ahead and terminate. Henry County's going to terminate.
It's clear at the 101. Back to towers off.
Just for 43, please, if you ain't returned, it has an address just off Mount Comfort Road by the airport.
10-4.
Go ahead. I am that address and
Entering Marion County now.
29.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. They said they were terminating, but they're still on the radio talking about being into Marion County now. So they're terminating, but they're still driving behind. They're still going, which sometimes happens. Okay, let's continue on.
Type of vehicle and color. 10-4. I'm going to continue on that way. 28, continue on that way as well.
10-4, I'm westbound from the 90.
Okay. So they terminated, but now we hear the sheriff literally get back on the radio. I didn't see that in his statement. Let me go back here and read this sheriff's statement here again, just briefly. Okay. The sheriff's statement again, ladies and gentlemen, says, the pursuit continued. What? The pursuit continued westbound on Interstate 70 and was terminated by the Henry County Sheriff's Office under the direction of the sheriff in Hancock County. Well, wait a minute. We just heard them say while they're in Marion County, both Henry County units are continuing that way. So I think there's a major discrepancy here between the truth and what we're actually hearing here. All right, let's hear this again.
10-4. I'm going to continue on that way. 28, continue on that way as well.
10-4, I'm westbound from the 93 now.
Westbound from 93.
I got to catch back up. I don't even have eyes on 57.
121 limits and 99 and a half. You want me to continue as well?
Go ahead and head back. I think we've got enough up here. We're not in the pursuit. I'm just working that direction in case they did hit the sticks. And
okay, so listen to this. So Sproles tells one of his units that are kind of far back, they can go ahead and turn back to town. But as far as Sproles and 3328, they're still heading that way. Tweety Bird, are their lights still on after Sproles called it? Well, hold on to that question. We'll come back to that.
How do we end up here?
21 is clear. Dispatch 21 will be 10-8.
Yeah, reference high speed lights are northbound on Post.
I'm at 70 in Post Road. Do you want me to catch up to be car 2 at 57, or did you want me to signal A at the residence? I'm at 70 in Post Road. Do you want me to catch up to be car 2 at 57, or did you want...
I'm at 70 in Post Road, 3328 says. We are into Marion County. Okay, let's continue on here.
Want me to signal A at the residence?
You go ahead and stay in the direction of the pursuit. I don't know how far out you are. I'm just working that way in case they did hit the sticks.
Post now.
So again, they're both still driving that way. In all fairness, it sounds like the sheriff did pull back. Sheriff's way back, but he's still driving that way. But 3328 is, in my opinion, still very much in it.
Dispatch 20, do you have an updated location?
We're trying to get that for you.
Okay, listen, 3828 right there gets on the radio, and when he keys up, we can still hear his siren. So ding, 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 ding. There you go, Tweety Bird. Are his lights and sirens still on after Sproles called it? The answer is very much yes. The lights and siren are still on. We can hear it in the radio traffic. Here, listen again.
Dispatch 20, do you have an updated location? Dispatch 20, do you have an updated location?
We're trying to get that for you now.
10 Fort Road's up here on post.
They're police southbound on Franklin, area 21st.
Clear.
They're still now back westbound on 21st from Franklin.
They're westbound.
End up getting back on 70. I'm trying to get flipped around.
10 coming towards Post Road. Are they on Post Road coming back towards 70?
Eastbound or westbound? On
121.
Go ahead.
It's Mountain Time for exit. Would you like me to stay in case you can eastbound?
I think we're far enough out. You can go ahead and head back to the county. It's fine. Thank you.
They're eastbound on 16th from Short Ridge.
They're on eastbound on 16 from Short Ridge. I'll be back out with them.
16th and Franklin.
Stumblefoot.
Eastbound 16 from Post Road.
Eastbound from Post.
Yeah, they're inside the city limits of Indianapolis at this point. Yeah.
Seems like lost eyes of 57 again. 10-9, did ISP terminate?
Now, 3328 said, did ISP terminate? He asked a question.
ISP is advising they are terminating.
At that point, they say ISP is advising they're terminating.
Especially when I got a heavy 1050.
Listen to this. ISP is advising they're terminating.
ISP is advising they are terminating.
Dispatch.
And the way that the officer, the deputy 3328 responds is by saying,
Dispatch 20, I got a heavy 1050.
dispatch 28, I have a heavy 1050, which is a heavy vehicle crash right here
Mithofer in Washington.
at Mithofer in Washington. There the crash is. Boom, bang, pow. There, listen again.
ISP is advising they are terminating.
ISP's terminating.
Dispatch 20, I got a heavy 1050.
I have a heavy 1050.
Mithofer in Washington.
Mithofer in Washington.
I need fire and EMS.
Fire and EMS.
28, you involved?
The sheriff asks 28 if he was involved.
I saw the vehicles here.
And 28 says, no, I saw the vehicles here.
Got 2 suspects hurt, minor injuries.
I have 2 suspects hurt, injuries.
Or minor injuries.
Minor injuries.
3 vehicles involved.
3 vehicles involved.
Vehicles involved.
3 vehicles involved. Subject in the Durango, easy for health inside. Subject in the Durango, easy for health inside. Subject in the Durango, easy for health inside.
Subject in the Durango.
Subject in the Durango, easy for health inside.
Something inside. Help inside.
Was involved. Was the suspect vehicle involved?
Was the suspect vehicle involved?
Inside.
Yes.
Or we'll get
This way, I got the driver.
unreadable.
I'm trying to get out.
Marion County has law enforcement ending at mass route to you.
Stretch 28. I'm talking to the driver of the passenger side. He's unconscious as of right now.
Hey, Jordy!
Be the one that's unconscious.
Careful.
Okay. Stand tight here a second.
$33, 28 or 33-1.
From lift signal 100.
Lift signal 100. And then they're quiet from there on the radio.
805.
From that point forward.
503.
Now, what I'm going to do, give me 1 second here. And I'm going to go back and listen to Hancock County. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull Hancock County.
Christopher,
Yes.
Eric's asking, was that a Henry County deputy talking to people in the crash?
Yes, it was. It was. That was the case. I also want to tell you that for anyone that says, look, they're going to have a hard time. And listen, I'm going to tell you. So I've talked to a couple different people today, and literally about 25 minutes before we went live, I talked to a source with the Indiana State Police, and I was advised that the unit 3328, while he was driving around doing this the whole time, the entire time, his lights and siren were on. So he never shut down his lights and siren. I'm not saying he did anything specifically wrong. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just saying, listen, I think it's going to be interesting to find out how many state troopers were involved. Because I think at that point, when the sheriff first called it, if you've got 2 or 3 troopers involved, and maybe you've got a unit from Hancock County, I don't know if they terminated or what, let them have it. And you guys going back to town, man. I don't know. I think the problem is Sproles gets this tunnel vision that a lot of cops will get, but that's why you have to have years of experience to know, hey, this is not good. We can't be doing this. We can't do this. We need to back out of this. But he doesn't have that. And that's always his problem. The other issue is, again, I'm hearing that the occupants of this vehicle were black. And, that's unfortunate. That is certainly unfortunate for these people of Henry County. Okay, we're going to pick up Hancock County here. I'm going to find out. We're going to see what we hear on the traffic here. If we hear anything good.
23 traffic.
823.
So Sproles started this whole police chase because of a 1037.
Yeah, suspicious driver.
Suspicious cop.
Motorcycle took off southbound. Is that what you're advising?
Suspicious vehicle.
Over 100 miles an hour. It's going to be a.
Yeah.
Suspect's going to have a red shirt, sweatshirt on, gray helmet, white rim.
You're going to ash on the table.
Clear
What?
motorcycle southbound 8 west from 500 north.
Sorry.
Oh.
Suspect's red shirt, gray helmet. 823, are you pursuing? 823 in pursuit.
Okay, so Hancock County's in pursuit. Their radio traffic's low.
Start the stop sign at 42nd and Carroll, continuing southbound.
Southbound
80 to 90, passenger cars. I lost him at 38th Street. I'm not sure if he went back into Marine County or not. I'm going to terminate.
Clear, terminate.
Oh, wow. So Hancock County's involved in this thing for like 15, not even 15 minutes. Let me see here. They're involved in this thing for 11 minutes, and they're like, all right, we're terminating. So that's what actual leadership looks like in a police department. Let's listen here and see if there's anything, if we've got anything going on here. So what part of Indy? Let me look here and see what we'd be coming into. Coming in there. There's Mount Comfort. Okay. Michigan. Where's Post? Post. Okay, there we go. All right, I see where we're at. Washington and Mithofer. Let's look. Okay, so I see where we're at here. Mithofer and Washington. Okay, so I see where we're at with that. So what side of...
So everybody in the comments is talking about Post Road. It's about 3/4 of a mile before 465 on the east side of Indy.
Yeah, I
There's
got
an
it here.
ISP post at Post
Right,
Road.
yeah, right there. Yep. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm trying to find if I'm trying to find the radio traffic. Let's see where that would be. Indy Southeast. Okay, so let's listen to see if this will pick up what we need. April 14th. This will be about 10:03. Holy shit.
Hopefully 14 late shift for service.
Late shift in service 2130.
Control 1.
Go ahead.
Control 3.
342 disturbance, East Washington.
29 for the suicide attempt, 8810 South Emerson Ave at the El Mason. A female at the location ingested mouthwash in an attempt to harm herself. Complainant wearing a pink sweatshirt waiting in front of the location. EMS.
29, check your meds before you go back in. Appreciate it.
Clear at 21 to location Vail Maps 911 only.
345. Supervisor for control.
Go ahead.
Can you put me 10-8 with a report, and then I'll be 1042.
At 2159. 7 Charles 234 domestic 4153 Creekway. Male sitting and female inside the car. Southwest US 2153. Video footage of people actively fighting in the lobby. 12 Charles 336 Neighbor 235 fight at 30 and yelling. EMS refused for the fire. 12-year-old female having manic episode, pouring things all over voices and talking to himself. Mother concerned about well-being.
Domestic additional call reports 5 to 6 people physically fighting with no weapons seen.
Holy shit. That gives me massive anxiety.
12-year-old female having manic episode, pouring things may need ambulance.
There is nothing on this planet I hate more than listening to police traffic. After not doing it for this long, I cannot believe that people just sit around and do it. It's insane to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the traffic there from that accident, from the pursuit, from what happened there in Henry County. And I got to tell you, I don't know if the sheriff has something that causes him to forget when he's talking and saying things, literally forget things that he's actually done or what. Because I think that if he goes in and he tells the state police and others what they've put out in their official statement, I feel like he is going to be in a world of hurt, because all they've got to do is pull the radio traffic and not hear a damn thing that lines up with what the sheriff says. Yeah, you know, I Stumblefoot, that's a funny thing. I was talking to somebody earlier and I was like, could you imagine if Skinner did shit like this? I couldn't even begin to imagine. And for all the issues that people have with Art Moisner in Randolph County, like, dude, nobody behaves like this. Nobody behaves like John behaves. That's the reason I aptly title it, "Oops, he did it again." And I'm just so happy with this thumbnail that I created. It makes me so happy. I did the little purplish thing there and made him, that it go Google the "Oops, I did it again" art, cover art, and it looks identical to that. I mean, that's I'm an artist. That's absolutely amazing. I just cannot comprehend this. Does this mean, in one of the starred comments, Catherine said, does this mean Sproles will get the county insurance canceled once these families sue Henry County? Mary, she said the same thing in the group. That's hilarious. I'm just so proud of that thumbnail. Yeah, well, yeah, right. I don't know if Catherine's still here, but in answer to her question, they've already got the insurance canceled once. I can't think that the other insurance company is going to want to stick around for much longer. Dude, this guy is a walking disaster. He's been quiet for like the last 6 to 8 months, but it seems as though he's like coming awake from his slumber. I'm telling you, I'm not making fun. Yeah, right, Ejac. I'm not making fun. Yeah, I probably should. You're right. That would just make sense, right? I'm not making fun of anybody that has any kind of mental health issues. I'm not poking fun of anyone that has bipolar or anything like that. But I'm telling you, I truly feel as if John is, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. I have no way of, I don't know. I'm just saying something does not add up here. And it just seems like he is not in a good place. And that is a very, very scary place for the citizens of Henry County to be, quite honestly. It just does not seem good. Yeah. Okay. So here's the original album art. There's the Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. And then, of course, here is John Sproles. Oops, he did it again. I am a mastermind. Thank you, Mary, for giving me the courage to just do it. But no, seriously, us bipolar people are not elected sheriffs. So, well, that's, listen, and there's nothing wrong with necessarily being bipolar and being medicated, or being, going through therapy and doing something like that, being an elected official of some sort, as long as it's under control. But I think you have to know, and listen, I don't know that he is, and I shouldn't be talking about this, and I'm going to stop. I don't know. Something is up. You cannot be this, you cannot be this deficient as a human being. And I'm not saying that people with bipolar are deficient, but I'm saying John Sproles is deficient. For some reason, something is wrong that seriously makes him a complete screw up in literally every possible way in law enforcement. Not to mention the fact that he's only been on for, right at about 5 years at this point. He should not be leading an entire department. And I'm telling you, 3328, I don't know who that is. I don't think that he did anything wrong, and I'm not taking shots at that guy. Don't know how long he's been on. Don't know how many years he's been on. Don't know if he's a rookie. Don't know if he's a veteran. I don't know anything about that person. I think that he probably did everything the best of his ability, but I'm just cautioning him and every other unit and jailer and every receptionist and anybody in Sproles' life, be cautious taking advice and following that man as a leader, because he is not a leader. He's not a leader. And, everyone talked about how Josh Smith was a really good guy, and I've never heard anything but good things about him. But I will tell you, the longer their partnership goes and the longer that he is the chief deputy for Sproles, I think the worse Josh is becoming. I think Sproles is rubbing off on him. I think that he is like in some kind of like hero worship stage with him. So it's just really weird. I just caution everybody, specifically the citizens. And I saw a couple people saying like, look, I don't know if I'm pulled over in Henry County, should I stop? Dude, I'm telling you right now, if I'm pulled over in Henry County, I'm going to tell you right now what I would do. If I were pulled over in Henry County, I would immediately pick up the phone and call either the Newcastle police or the Henry County Sheriff's Department dispatch or 911 and be like, look, am I getting pulled over? And can you tell me if this is an actual officer or is this the sheriff? And if it's the sheriff, please send another unit out here. I'm scared. I'm scared. You know what I'll do some Saturday? I'll have to try to do it. I'll see if I can get some kind of thing that's will give me a thing where I can share the copyright and run a playlist just on a live feed all day. That people always do that. YouTubers do that when they don't have content to share, and it's good for views and clicks, but I normally don't do that, but it might be worth it just to do it on a rolling thing all day long, all 87 videos. All right, folks, share this video, spread the word. You know what to do. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm going to do my very best to go to the Kyle Pierce. I keep wanting to say Led Zeppelin legislative update, Led Zeppelin concert, the Kyle Pierce Led Zeppelin concert. I really wish it was. That would be cool. It would be 10 times better than going and talking to Kyle Pierce. I'll be there. We'll be live afterwards. I think Catherine might be our guest. We'll continue following what's going on with this Senate bill deal. I do want to put out here just briefly, and I will answer Heather Brewer's question. But before I do, today was Tuesday. I don't know if you guys know what happens on Tuesday, but on Tuesday, for the last at least year, maybe 2 years, Micah Beckwith has had about a 15-minute segment on the Kendall and Casey show. And today was the first Tuesday in a long time that Micah Beckwith stood them up and did not go in. And Rob kind of seemed a little perturbed by that. And he wouldn't tell Rob. He didn't contact Rob, but he contacted Casey and told Casey, I was up late last night. And that's exactly like Rob and Casey said, so were we. We stayed up and watched what was going on, and we're still in here today. I stayed up and watched it. I'm still here. I was awake before they were. And so it's kind of like Beckwith. That's not an excuse. I feel like it's because he's butthurt about last Tuesday's experience. And I feel like even though Rob called him out, then he went back and he was cool with him. I think Beckwith is still butthurt about it. And I think it don't matter what Rob does. I think Beckwith's now going to push the envelope. And I think that this friendship is now going to be tainted. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. The one thing I can promise you is no matter what goes on, it's going to be a strange 4 years. And God willing, we'll be here for it all. Answering Heather Brewer's question here just quickly. She says, what does she say? I can't find it. Oh, quick question on Henry County. Why would an officer take someone in for blood draw at a hospital instead of chain of command be followed the cop? The cop would take the blood back to the station fridge. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what I would do. When we did blood draws, we would do that and take them and then pack them up and then mail them down to the Indiana State Police lab. To me, that's chain of command. That's chain. That would be chain of custody, rather. That sounds like that's pretty standard, unless something's changed. I'll put it to you this way. That would have been standard. That would have been something similar to I do. If I pull Kate over, if I'm on the police department, I pull Kate over, and Kate is acting under the influence, but I don't smell any alcohol, and she fails the stupid human tricks, the 9-step walk and turn, the 1-step, the 1-leg stand, and the horizontal gaze nystagmus, and I have her do a PBT, and she blows zeros, but her pupils are fixed and dilated, her speech is slurred, and I find an empty bottle of Valium in the floor board. And so I would take her in to do a blood draw. After we would do the blood draw, I would take that back and put that in, our evidence refrigerating unit, and it would be then mailed out to the state police for testing. To me, that would be good. So that's that. Brenda says, cause of the radio traffic about the Henry County guy still in pursuit, and reposted the crash with 2 at gunpoint. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm going to have to find out what she's talking about there. That sounds interesting, but.
You asked her why Fox 50, what kind of questions Fox 59 is.
Oh, I get it.
If you ever see me pulled over where I'm acting erratically and slurring my speech and all this other stuff, I'm having a stroke. Get me to the hospital.
I think it's the Valium.
Oh,
Lord. All right. Thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate it. All of you, thank you all very much. Brenda, I will go and watch that right now. That sounds like a good time. I'll check out what the hell's going on. You guys take care. Share the show everywhere you know. Help spread the word. Smash that like button on your way out the door. Please and thank you all very much. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.